I didn't know how to be a man. Left to wondering why, like I was missing the X chromosome. Enduring growing pains with the aches and the groans from the feeling in my bones and the space in my chest, cause my only place of rest was with my heart. So I didn't have a home. I was heartless. Trying to find my value in the menu like the golden arches, but getting shot down like targets from Olympic gold medal arches. I sold myself cheap. Bartered. Just to get myself killed in the process. Martyred. But not for a righteous cause. I died from my own selfish flaws, so self-involved and absorbed in myself that I was the very cause I put my life on the shelf. I couldn't stand tall. Elf. All a man has is his health, but what's your health worth when your living sucks in the first place? That doesn't work like I was retired and winning is out of the question. I couldn't reach the podium, not even for third place. I was a cursed waste. No saint or great fanatic. I was lowly. A turd in a wastebasket. I don't think we were cut from the same fabric. I was stained and strapped with cheap elastic, wrapped with weak graphics, then placed in a plastic casket. I'm saying I was pre-packaged. No example of great faith, just a boy who lacked standards, embraced death instead of answers, questions spread like cancer. While I made fun of who I should have been, I dissed grace. Drunk off my own wine with no excuse other than the fact that I like grapes. Like, that's great. Forget about a strong distaste. I gave in for this taste. A disgrace who was in love with, not disgusted with his place. In love with my own face like Narcissus. I probably would have drowned in my own lake. Wait. I paid for my own fate. Little by little, like layaway. Now that's why I lay awake. And thank God that I saw change like a piggy bank. And the piggy bank is just a metaphor for feeling like a kid again. I'm no longer heartless. I found my home. I live in him. While he lives in me and rejects the poison I used to put in like my liver did. He's purifying me and purging within, so now I see I'm worthy in him. He atoned for my sin, death, burial, resurrection, my salvation. Can't you see? The rest of my life is an Easter celebration. No more condemnation while I'm eagerly waiting for the time and place when sin ultimately loses to my union with him like the Confederate States did. No more slavery. That's big. Got rid of the division after I made the decision to let God stitch me up after his surgical incision. Steady-handed precision, removing my infirmities. See, I became aware of my emergency. My heirs, how I was hurting, see. I called on God and he rushed me in on a gurney with urgency. Life-changing operation, removing all the junk in my life is messy but necessary. Even if the process seems scary, the progress is beautiful. It's true, you know. Think of it this way. If you had a tree, wouldn't you want it to produce fruit and grow, bearing life on its branches? It's beautiful. So I'd probably be right in assuming that you would cut off the dead branches that don't produce the produce. Because life won't thrive, it'll die if you don't cut off everything that isn't alive. That's what God's doing with me. Cutting off the branches that bring death. So they don't choke out the ones that have breath. That's why I live in him and it feels so right. Cause God could have gave up and aborted me, but he's pro-life. Now that's why I lay awake. And thank God that I saw change like a piggy bank. And the piggy bank is just a metaphor for feeling like a kid again. I'm no longer heartless. I found my home. I live in him.